I'm Dr. Krishnan, virologist at the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad, which is affiliated to CSIR. So my laboratory has been working in CCMB for the last 10-12 years. We have been working on different human viruses such as hepatitis C virus, dengue virus, Japanese encephalitis virus. So we had the kind of expertise to work on different aspects of the viruses. And at the time of pandemic, in the beginning of the pandemic, we felt that it is important for us to contribute to the society, and also there was a general requirement from both from the state government as well as the central government to upscale our activities, and also to train various people from the society to work on to expand the testing facilities. So we had to prepare ourselves. This is a completely new, different virus, and we had no new, working experience on it apart from the knowledge that we received from various reports, including research articles. But one of the most fascinating things about CCMB was that everybody in CCMB rose up to the occasion, starting from the staffs, not really directly involved with the research, and also the students, PhD students and other research students, all were so excited to contribute to it, and they volunteered. While several other institutions in India were closed down due to the lockdown, CCMB was all up and it was running extra time. It was running 24/7, and this actually became a remarkable success in setting up the testing facility, right? And this was actually a phenomenal experience to me as a virologist, because I couldn't ask for anything else to be in the center of the storm, in the eye of the storm. And this was actually a very remarkable experience, how we all worked together. Everybody is concerned about their family members and their health. Because I have been a virologist for several years, and we know that we are working in conditions that the exposure to the virus is very, very minimal. We work in biocontainment facilities where the chances of getting an infection is very, very low, and we are happy to say that not even a single person, staff involved with the testing or the culture facility has been exposed by a laboratory COVID strain. So we have been working in very safe environment, most safe place, right? So my family were not that concerned about the infection case, but then of course we all had to work and we had to rise up to occasion, and they were really, really excited about it. I'm pretty sure that they are proud about what I contributed to the society at large.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tej Sopati. I'm a scientist at CSIR CCMB. So way back in April, or actually late March 2020, suddenly when the COVID pandemic hit India in a big way, we were tasked in understanding how the viral genome affects the pandemic. So we were one of the first labs to establish viral genome sequencing in India. And as early as April 6th, which was just 2 weeks after we were informed that we will be sequencing, we got the first sequences out. And we have been studying the evolution of virus from a genomics perspective since then. So as of now, we have sequenced over 1,000, in fact close to 1,500 sequences, most of which have been deposited on the public GISAID repository. As well as we maintain an in-house database of all Indian viral genomes, which we call CARE-19, which is constantly updated. And in addition to actually showing the information of how many genomes, we also do some analytics such as demography-wise trends, how many states have contributed to it, and that kind of information. Yes, so SARS-CoV-2 compared to several other viruses is it's a slow mutant virus. So right now we estimated that it mutates approximately once every 2 weeks. And because of the kind of sampling that we have done in India so far, we detect close to something like 7,000 different, or actually more than 7,000 different mutations that are represented in India. But of course, as I said, most of them are of little to no meaning.
So how do you guys are working around the clock, and how did you personally cope up with the situation? And
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Actually, the idea, so when we, very early during the pandemic, when we were tasked with this, it was so strange that the entire country is in lockdown. The roads were practically empty, and we were actually more or less living in the lab because we had to very quickly establish these protocols. So far our facility was only sequencing large genomes, like the human genomes. The smallest that we sequenced was bacteria, and the viral genome is almost 1,000 times smaller than the bacteria that we sequenced. So we had to establish new protocols that we have not done before to get the viral genome sequencing going on. And the first few weeks were, I would say they were pretty hectic, but then they were also the time where we as a team have learned the most, because this was a challenge that had immediate implications on public health, and to deliver on that was, I mean, the effort or the hecticness did not matter. We were just happy that we were contributing in understanding the pandemic and doing our best to help everyone out.
So how many hours you used to work in the lab?
It's difficult to quantify. I mean, there were times when the entire team had slept in labs because there would be a 2-hour incubation going on. So just catch some sleep in those 2 hours and get back to work immediately after. There were days, in fact, there were weeks where we spent in lab completely, and we would just go home to take a bath and come back. That's all.
Okay. And how do you feel after all these? How do you feel like about your contribution?
To be honest, I feel proud to be heading a team which matched this kind of their passion or the zealousness to deal with the pandemic. I mean, they did not complain, they did not say anything, they just knew they had to step up and deliver. And I'm proud to have been leading such a team.